the fetus is developed inside the uterus. That means is the time from conception up to the time of birth. Yeah, that is the meaning of gestation. Yeah, gestation is the period of embryo development. Yeah, that involves the period from the conception up to birth. And gestation is normally takes 40 weeks, though some other people tend to deliver before 30 weeks or exceed, yeah, for a few weeks after 40 weeks. And the gestation period, normally in humans, it has got 3 trimesters, yeah, which each trimester, it takes 3 months. So the gestation stages, there are also 3, yeah, gestation stages, which are known as, the first one is known as Blastogenesis, the zygote formation. The second one is known as embryonic stage. That means the zygote is transformed into an embryo. And the last stage is the fetal stage. Now the embryo is transformed into the fetus. So those are the 3 stages of gestation. Yeah, and gestation has got also 3 trimesters. Yeah, gestation is also divided into 3 trimesters, which each one normally consists of 3 months. What is the meaning of pregnancy? What is the meaning of pregnancy? Can you volunteer? What is the meaning of pregnancy? Another volunteer, please. What is meaning of the term pregnancy? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We said pregnancy, the process where the baby is developed inside the woman's wombs. That is starting from egg implantation until birth. That lasts at least 40 weeks of pregnancy.
And what is the difference between pregnancy and gestation?
The difference is in gestation, maybe we are counting through weeks, but the stage and everything is the same with pregnancy. That's what I understand.
I didn't get you. What is the difference? What did you say?
Maybe the difference is when we say gestations, we count the days in weeks. That's much I understand. But when we say pregnancy, it's the whole process whereby the baby is developed inside the womb from conception until birth.
But the gestation and pregnancy, it's almost the same. Because
Same,
here we
yes.
say that, yeah, it is the same, regardless of the different stages, which is under gestation, and the different trimesters, which is under pregnancy, but it's all the same.
Yes.
Yeah. So we said gestation is the period of embryo development from the conception to birth. And pregnancy is the period during which a fertilized egg grows and develops inside the woman's uterus, leading to the birth of the baby. So it's also the same. Yeah, from the conception, that's when the egg is fertilized, up to when the child, time when the baby is given birth. The same as gestation from embryo development, that's when the egg is fertilized up to when the child is born. So they are the same, yeah. And also that period, whether it's gestation, it's divided in 3 gestational stages, but it's the same of that period, where we can also say that, yeah, it can also be divided into the trimesters. Yeah, so the 3 trimesters, yeah, which occur during pregnancy, the first one start from 0 to 12 weeks. Yeah, the second trimester is from 13th week to 27th week, and the third trimester is 28th week until the baby is given. So we are going also to see the 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 difference, a little bit difference, yeah, what is happening in these gestation stages and how long from what period to what period. But they're almost the same. It's the same thing, though it is in gestation we use gestation stages, and during pregnancy we tend to use trimesters. Yeah, gestation stages, there are three gestation stages. The first one is blastogenesis, the second one is embryonic stage, and the last one is the fetal stage. So those are the three gestation stages. So now let's look at one after another. The blastogenesis stage, this normally starts from the fertilization, yeah, time up to 2 weeks. Blastogenesis, this is start from the fertilization
Actually,
period up to 2 weeks. Yeah, when the fertilized egg, yeah, or zygote is changed and become the blastocyte, and where its outer layer now tend to implement or just attach itself in the inner part of the uterus. Yeah, it forms first a placenta. Yeah, it attached in the inner cell, in inner mass or inner side of the placenta, and this placenta is attached to the uterus. So that period when the fertilized egg or zygote, which becomes a blastocyte, tends to attach itself in the inner part of the placenta. That's a period of blastogenesis. And the implantation occurs in this stage. Blastocytes become buried in endometrium, and endometrium is the inner wall of the placenta. So in this stage, that's when the zygote or blastocytes tend to attach itself in the inner wall of the placenta, which is called the endometrium. And this blastogenesis stage, it's normally known as germinal stage. Germinal as we use in plants, normally when we plant seed, normally we wait that the seed to germinate into seedling. So when it germinates, we get a little seedling. So the process of germination, it's all the same as this one. It's compared to this germinal stage. That's when something starts to start its growth. Yeah, it's also called that. Also called as is considered or compared to germination. So it's also called a germinal stage. Germinal stage. So blastogenesis is the germinal stage. The second stage of gestation is known as embryonic stage, and the embryonic stage starts from approximately 3 weeks to 8 weeks. It's also the stage where the blastocyte develop into an embryo. So it changed, it changed from blastocyte into embryo. That's why it's called embryonic stage, where all the major features of human are present and operation at the end of this stage. So this, all the human features start to develop at this embryonic stage, and at the end of this stage, they are totally, completely developed. Okay, during embryonic stage, it begins shortly after the zygote or blastocyte has been insert or attach itself into the inner wall of the placenta. Yeah, and the placenta, normally we know it tends to attach in the wall of the uterus. So at this time, we say it lasts from 3rd to 8th week, to the 8th week. And this period begins when the woman Even the woman does not know that she is already pregnant. But it is a critical stage in fetal development. That means that during the first 8 weeks, from the first to the 8th week, normally some of the women will not know if they are pregnant at this time until after the 2 months, that is after 8th week, that is 2 months. During this time, embryo cells are dividing rapidly from the basic body system. When the 8th week, we've said that majority of the features are already developed, is already developed and starts to function. Yeah, and completed. Things like central nervous systems, heart start beating, digestive system start working, fingers, toes beginning to formed, and also some facial features also beginning to developed during this stage of embryonic. And the last stage, gestation stage, is called fetal stage, and this starts from the 9th week up to term. Yeah, this is start from the ninth week up to term. That means when we say gestation, normally period takes 40 weeks. That means from 9th week up to 40th week. So if it extends two weeks more, you can say it's depending from one pregnancy and another. If it's less, then if it's premature, then until when the child is born. So you can say from 9th week until when the child is born. During this period of time, the embryo develops rapidly and becomes a fetus. That's when the whale embryo change into fetus, and the stage now is called the fetal stage. Now you can see it's very easy to remember these stages according to the change from one form to another. Yeah, you can see here an embryo is changing into fetus. So this is called the fetal stage. So those are our three gestation stages, yeah, which occur during pregnancy. And in the fetal stage, yeah, normally during this period, yeah, there's development of all necessary body systems and starts with the human appearance. Also, it can be distinguishable. Some of the genital parts, hair, nails, vocal cords are formed. Kidneys also beginning to process some body fluids and liver beginning to function. Bones also start to be hardened, yeah, and ready to the baby to be born. Yeah. And at this stage also baby starts to be able to breathe by its own because the lungs are now matured. Yeah, and at the end of these weeks, yeah, the fetus is ready to be born. Yeah, so this is the last stage of gestation. Immune system also is also in place. The lungs, I've said, have been properly developed and baby can breathe. Yeah, the brain, eye development in a faster rate. Everything tends to develop in a very faster rate in this last stage. And also the fetus also tend to store some nutrients are stored in the fetus body. Yeah, there's store of nutrients in the fetus body which can be used in the first few weeks after the fetus, the infant has been delivered. As we know that breast milk, yeah, is not a high source of iron. Yeah, so iron stores normally tend to be preserved in the fetus body during this time, so that when the infant is born, those iron stones can be used up to 6 months until when the baby is introduced to the weaning foods or complementary foods. Although we are saying breast milk does not contain high amount of iron, but that small amount can easily be absorbed That small amount in breast milk, iron can easily be absorbed and used by the infant in the early month. So if the fetus has not stored enough iron, still the small amount from the breast milk can be properly easily absorbed, can be used for that infant in the early 6 months, during exclusive breastfeeding. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Let's proceed first. Embryonic and fetal growth, as we've said, that a healthy pregnancy lasts for average 40 weeks. 40 weeks. Yeah, the normal range, some of 38 to 42, it can exceed to 42, or it can be from 38 weeks, the child can be born, but others are be born premature. Yeah, that is 7 months. Weeks of pregnancy are counted from the first day the woman last period. Yeah, thus women can be considered pregnant approximately 2 weeks even before she actually conceive the baby. Yeah. After conception, the fertilized eggs, as we know as zygote, we've already talked about that. Yeah, make its way to the uterus. Fertilization normally is done in the fallopian tube, as we know. Then it moves from the through the yeah, it moves from the through the fallopian tubes up to the uterus. That's where it starts developed. The placenta is formed and it is attaching itself in the inner wall of the placenta, and of which placenta is attached itself with the wall of the uterus. So as I've said that some babies are tend to be born, prematured. That means before 37 completed weeks of pregnancy. Sometimes we call them preterm. This is called preterm birth. What are the causes? What can be the causes of preterm or premature birth? What can be the causes of premature birth? What can be the causes? There are so many causes. Any volunteer, what can be the causes?
It can be some infections of urinary tract.
Yeah, excellent. It can be some infection of urinary tract. Yeah, it can be some infection of urinary tract and some other sexual transmitted infection also. Yeah, can cause this early birth. Yeah, urinary infection, that is UTI, or sexual transmitted infection also. Yeah, another cause, what can be? There are a lot of causes. Another volunteer, what can be?
Multiple pregnancy or twins.
What?
Multiple pregnancy or twins.
Yeah, excellent. Multiple pregnancy or more than, which can be called twins, or more than two. Yeah, it can be two, it can be three, it can be
4.
Maternal complications such as eclampsia.
yeah, maternal complication also, such as preeclampsia. Yeah, which normally caused by high blood pressure. Yeah, other cause.
Non-communicable disease like diabetes and hypertensions.
Yeah, other diseases like diabetes, also other diseases such as kidney diseases, heart diseases, thyroid disorders, all those types of diseases also can cause early birth. I have other things, there are so many. Malaria diseases. Yeah, all that and the diseases, also malaria is the diseases which can faster.
Heavy weights during pregnancy, like lifting a heavy weight of heavy loads while you are
Yeah,
pregnant.
yeah, that is life factor. Yeah, overall heavy physical work. Yeah, or high stress. So there are a lot of things which can cause this premature birth. Yeah, there are a lot of things which can cause premature birth. Okay, now let's look at and also things also which can cause premature birth, which is very important. I want to talk about is about placenta. If there is abnormalities in the placenta growth, that's very important. If there is some abnormalities in the placenta growth, for example, things like placenta accreta. This normally when placenta attached too deeply in the uterine wall, and this makes that after a mother has given birth, that placenta does not come out easily because it has been too deeply attached in the uterine wall. So this will cause that mother to get difficulties, severe bleeding when the doctors and nurses try to take away the placenta. Because immediately after you have given birth, the placenta must come out. So this is which is very dangerous. Yeah, it's not very good. And something else which can also cause premature birth is something which is called placenta previa. I think you know that. Yeah, placenta previa. This is just a low-lying placenta. Placenta normally lie a little bit lower to the uterus, approximately 2 centimeters away from the cervix. So when that placenta goes down and tend to cover cervix, sometimes it can speed labor process. It can start by bleeding. Normally it's painless, but it can cause bleeding a lot and can cause the premature birth. So this is one of the situations can cause premature. So there are a lot of things. I just want to talk about these two placenta abnormalities, which can also faster the premature birth or preterm. Okay, now let's look at the nutrients intake, embryonic and fetal development. Yeah, nutrients which are embryonic and fetal development. Folic acid is very important. It's very important during the fetal development. Folic acid is very important during the fetal development and embryonics. Yeah, period. We are pregnant mother, if she has a deficiency of folic acid in the first 4 weeks of pregnancy development, this can cause a lot of harm. It can harm the central nervous system because during this period is when the central nervous system is formed. So the deficiency make the nervous system not being properly formed. Yeah, so devastating nutrient deficiencies, folic acid deficiency, can cause the neurotube defects. Yeah, can cause the neurotube defects, which is not very good. What is the neurotube defect? These are severe birth defects of this brain and spinal cord. Neurotube defects, these are severe birth defects of the brain and spinal cord. Yeah, it's very important all women to make sure that they get enough folic acid so that brain and spinal cord of the fetus will not be affected. And if sometimes you've got this deficiency of folic acid, the pregnant mother can end up getting miscarriage or can have a still birth. Yeah. And also the deficiency of iodine during this early fetal development can cause some problems in the brain. Deficiency of iodine also can cause some problem in the brain because during these early stages, that's when the brain is developed. And when the brain got permanent defects, yeah, it can cause some mental retardation. So the deficiency of these important minerals can have a very bad effect to the fetus. Yeah, the effect of this nutrient deficiency can be less dramatic in the early period, but its impact later can be very big. For example, deficiency of some vitamins such as D in the early fetal, it might not be seen very much, but later, yeah, the bones will be undermineralized and can be weak, the fetus, yeah, bones. Also, deficiency, we've said, of iron during it will affect brain development and can alter memory function later. Yeah, later can alter memory function. Okay, even when there's adequate nutrient, deficiency can rather affect the child physical development in the womb. Yeah. So it's very important to make sure that pregnant women get all the nutrients required in the recommended amount. And now let's look at pre-pregnancy weight and gestation weight gain. Pre-pregnancy weight and the gestation weight gain. Okay, the pattern and the amount of weight gain is closely associated with the gestation stages. Yeah, the amount of weight gain normally is associated with the gestation stages. The first trimester, that is the first gestation stage, normally a blastogenesis and early embryonic stages, normally the mother experiences just a minimal amount of weight gain. Approximately very small amount of weight is gained, 0.5 to 2 kilograms. Yeah, while the embryo can be, yeah, can weight only 6 grams. In the second trimester and the third trimester, that's when which include the late embryonic and fetal stage, that's when the mother gain a little rapid weight, yeah, because of faster increase of the fetus size. At this stage, the mother can gain the weight increases from 3,000 to 4,000 grams. This is just the general of all type of women. This is just the general. Okay. Okay, let's now look at the nutrition requirement during pregnancy. Nutrition pregnancy. Why do the need of most nutrients tend to increase during pregnancy? Why? Why do the needs of most nutrients tend to increase during pregnancy? Why is it so? Why is it so? Any volunteer?
There are requirement of increase in nutrient due to the growth of a new baby inside the woman wombs.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, the high increase of the nutrient requirement, yeah, for the pregnant mother is due to meet the high demands of both growing fetus in the mother and also the need of the mother herself for her normal body needs. So there are two people, the nutrients need for two people, for the growth of the fetus whose development in mothers and for the mother herself. So that's why nutrient requirement need to increase during pregnancy. So the need of the most nutrients are increased during pregnancy to meet the high demands of both growing fetus and the mother herself, and also help for the mother to prepare for the breastfeeding later, yeah, in the later stages of pregnancy. So it's very important to make sure that the mother eats balanced diet, make sure she gets all the nutrients in the recommended amount to avoid the deficiencies of all nutrients. Now let's look at nutrient requirement during pregnancy. Let's start with energy or calories. The additional energy is required during pregnancy to support the metabolic demands of pregnancy, yeah, for fetal growth and also the need of mother herself, we've said. So metabolism increases by 15% in the singleton pregnancy. And as I've said earlier, that calories requirements also differ from within the trimesters. In the first trimester, energy requirements normally remain more or less the same with non-pregnant woman. So it's a increased need is the energy requirement normally between 0 to 85 kilocalories. Increase compared to non-pregnant women. That is in the first trimester because the 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 zygote has just been formed and is small in size. In the second trimester, the energy or calories need increased from 300 to approximately 350 kilocalories per day. Here the zygote has changed and there is increase in size. In the third trimester, the requirement of energy is increased even more. Yeah, more plus 450 kilocalories per day. And this we know it's the last stage where the embryo has been changed into fetus, in its fetal stage, and it's also increasing is increasing in size rapidly. So more energy is needed during this period. Yeah, note that additional energy needs not only should differ by trimester, but should be tailored based on mother's preconception basal metabolic intake, or you can say preconception weight. So additional energy needs or requirements does not only differ by trimester, that means first trimester differ from second or differ from third, but also is tailored also should be based on mother's preconception basal metabolic intake. Yeah, I'm saying that, yeah, because previous I also talk about how much weight a pregnant woman required to gain during pregnancy. So does not depending on the differences between three trimester, but we should also look at the BMI which the mother had before she had become pregnant. That's what we call preconception BMI. BMI is basal metabolic index. I think now you're in your second year, you know what is BMI. How does BMI be calculated? Can you tell me the formula to calculate BMI? How do we calculate BMI?
Madam, we are calculating BMI by taking mass over height square.
Mass over height squared. I think you're a little bit, no, man, we use the weight and height. And how do we do it?
The weight of a person should be in kilograms, and the height of that person should be in meters. So that meter we square it. Then you take the mass in a kilogram, you divide it to that square. Who is his or her height?
In short, BMI you take by taking the weight, which weight normally is in a kilogram, and we divide it by the height, in meter squared. That's how we get BMI. So I think you also know the categories of BMI. We've got categories of BMI. So can you tell me the categories? Underweight. When we say underweight is in which categories BMI? When we say someone is underweight, is in which range of BMI?
Below 18.5.
Yeah, it should be below 18.5 BMI. So that person is considered to be underweight. And normal weight, what are the BMI of the normal weight?
Between 18.5 to 24.9.
Yeah, that is the normal weight with regard to that category. Overweight?
25 to 29.
Yeah, 25 to 29.9.
29, yes.
So that's overweight and above 30,
30.
equal above
30 or
30.
higher.
Yeah,
obesity.
Obesity, and you can have 3 classes of obesity. Yeah, so those are categories of BMI. So when we say that we should consider preconception BMI, that means we need to look at what BMI does that pregnant women have before before she become pregnant. So we tend to look at what BMI does that pregnant woman had before she become pregnant. That's called by preconception. So for example, the pregnant woman was underweight before becoming pregnant. That means she had BMI less than 18.5. That means she must gain recommended weight of at least 12.5 to 18 kilograms so that she can be able to deliver a baby with a required birth weight. And the pregnant woman who had preconception BMI of normal weight, that is between 18.5 to 24.9 BMI, during pregnancy, she should gain weight between 11.5 to 16 kilograms in order to be able to give birth a baby with normal weight. That means above 2.5 kgs. And for the mother, the pregnant woman who was overweight before becoming pregnant, that means she had BMI between 25 to 29.1. During pregnancy, she has to gain weight of between only 7 to 11.5 kilograms. As you can see, as the BMI increase before pregnancy, we tend to reduce the weight gain during pregnancy. For those women who had BMI at obese range, they had to increase weight for only 5 to 9 kilograms. So that's how it goes. So we should only consider not only these differences of weight gain trimester, but we should also look at preconception or those pregnant women with preconception.
Chichi.
Hello, can you please mute your microphone? Okay. Protein also. Protein for pregnant women also in the first trimester. You need to be head to head equivalent or 1 gram per day above non-pregnancy. Slight increase of pregnancy in the early for fetal cells development or organ function, not much. In the second trimester, they need of more protein plus 9 grams per day. Because they need increase for rapid growth of the fetus tissues and placenta. In the third trimester, the protein needed should be plus grams per day above the non-pregnancy because high protein requirement during this time for the intense fetal growth for baby building, because the baby infant fetus is building the muscles and organs. So you can see how the amount of protein tend to increase as the fetus is growing in size. Fat also is needed during pregnancy and is about 20 to 35% of total calories. Fatty sources should be good source, should make sure the pregnant women get only good sources of fat and basically unsaturated fats, which consists of good fatty acid of linoleic and linoleic and choline, components of phospholipid for proper brain functioning of the fetus. Fatty also can be a concentrated source of calories, can be beneficial and help to prevent the pregnant women from becoming of malnourished. But we should all try to avoid excess intake of fat, which can end up into overweight and obese. Fiber also is very important. Pregnant women need at least 28 grams of fiber per day, which will help in overall significant reducing the constipation, and which is one of the common side effects of pregnancy, because if the food contained recommended amount of fiber, it will help in the proper bowel movement in the esophagus, so the food can easily be properly digested and absorbed and can prevent constipation. So it's advised for the pregnant women, in order to get this fiber, should consume whole grain, bread, made cereals, which are whole grain, leaf green vegetables, and yellow, fresh dried fruits, All those should consist enough amount of fiber. Yeah, and can also get enough amount of minerals and vitamins. Yeah, vitamin A also is very important for the pregnant woman. Yeah, I need about 770 milligrams, slightly higher than non-pregnant woman, and low amount of vitamin A concentration can cause kidney size of the newborn be reduced, small in size, and can also cause the infant to be born premature. So should make sure pregnant women get recommended amount of vitamin A. Vitamin D also is very important. Yeah, for pregnant women should take at least make sure recommended amount 200 international units or 5 milligram per day. Vitamin D, we know it's important to build strong bones and teeth. Also, it's helped to prevent some diseases such as cancers and autoimmune diseases, also type 1 diabetes and some heart diseases. So maternal vitamin A deficiency is associated with neonatal hypocalcemia, which can manifest in inadequate fetal bone mineralization and hypoplasia of tooth enamel or convulsions. Vitamin E and K also is very important during pregnancy. Vitamin E, if taken in the recommended amount, will help to prevent miscarriage and preterm birth. Vitamin K is also important in bone health and also coagulation process, as we know. Vitamin K help, to the blood during delivery to coagulate faster and prevent excess blood loss. So it's very important to eat different types of food which can provide vitamin K during pregnancy. Yeah, vitamin B and C are also important during pregnancy, and there are two types of vitamin B which are very important, which is folate and vitamin B12. These are two types of vitamin B complex, which are very important. And also ascorbic acid, that is vitamin C, is very important in the meal of the pregnant women because they are involved in the collagen synthesis and they act as antioxidant. So make sure pregnant women get food sources which can be able to provide this ascorbic acid and other vitamin B, as we know that vitamin B and C, these are soluble to vitamin. They should be supplied in a diet daily. They cannot be stored in the body. Yeah. And why do you think these two, B vitamin, folate and vitamin B, they're very important during fetal development in pregnancy? We've already discussed about that. Why do you think these two vitamins, vitamin B, folate is the folic acid or vitamin B9, while vitamin B12 is known as cobalamin. Why are these two vitamin B complex very important during fetal development in a pregnant woman, especially in the early stages of fetal development, in the first few weeks? Why are those two B vitamin important? We've already discussed about this. Can you tell me why is
Yes.
folate? Why is folate or folic acid important?
It is important during the first stage because the brain is forming and spine cord, so it will prevent to have severe defect after birth, maybe.
Yeah, excellent. Folate or folic acid or vitamin B9, it's very important, especially in the early weeks of fetal development, because it prevents neurotube defects. Yeah, folate in the recommended amount in the early development is very important in the brain and spinal cord development. As you have said, in the development of the brain and spinal cord in order to prevent neurotube defects. It prevents neurotube defects such as spina bifida and anencephaly. Anencephaly is related to the brain development. Spina bifida is related into spinal cord formation. So these are the two defaults, which, if there is deficiency, they might be caused. Okay, what about vitamin B or cyanocobalamin or cobalamin? This is the general name. What if there is deficiency? Why is this B12 very important in the early stages of fetal development? What about this one? You volunteer? Yeah, vitamin B12, it's also very important in the early stages of fetal development because it works with the folate or folic acid in making red blood cells. As we know that, yeah, the formation of red blood cells is very important in the fetus because it's a start development when we know the function of the red blood cells and to transport oxygen throughout the body. Yeah. And also vitamin B12 help in the DNA synthesis. It also help in the development of healthy bone, healthy brain. Yeah, and also it help in the normal formation of neurological functions. So it prevents anemia if we get the pregnant women get in the recommended amount. It prevents anemia and nerve damage. Yeah, that's why it's related to the normal neurological function. So those are the very two important of these two vitamin B complex, folate and vitamin B12 or cobalamin. Yeah. Okay, calcium and other minerals are also important. Yeah, the pregnant women need about 2,500 milligrams per day, iron about 27 milligrams per day. So these also are also other. Also, apart from these other minerals, zinc and other minerals are also important and should be taken in the recommended amount. So it's very important. Okay, now here the time is nearly up. I've got a few study questions which I want you to copy in this 5 remaining time we have. Can you please copy this 5 study question quickly? Hello, can you please write down this? Hello, can you still hear me?
Yes, madam. We are
Can you
copying.
please copy?
Which on the minerals, especially iron.
Hello, I don't get you. You have a question? Oh?
No, I don't have a question, madam, but I'm asking you to repeat on the minerals, especially iron.
Minerals. Can you please write first these study questions? And I'll come to that. Iron as iron or folic acid?
Calcium, minerals, calcium, iron, zinc, and the other minerals. That slide is clear.
Yeah, I say the minerals. Yeah, I say there's calcium. Yeah. Pregnant mother need about 2,500 milligrams per day. That is the upper limit of intake. Iron, I also said that recommended daily intake is about 27 milligrams per day. This is the amount of iron needed. Have you seen it now?
Yeah, I see it clear now.
Okay, it was a little bit faster. Okay, and zinc, pregnant women need about 11 milligrams per day. This has been the increase from the non-pregnant women, which was 8 milligrams per day. For the pregnant is 11 milligrams. Has been increased from 8 milligrams per day. And zinc is very important, especially in the first trimesters. Yeah, and it's generally play a very role in immunity, as we know that zinc plays a very big role in immunity. Also, there are some other minerals also that are needed. Magnesium, iron, phosphorus, sodium, copper, fluoride are also needed during pregnancy. And an assignment, please go and look at this recommended daily intake of those minerals. you're supposed to know. Go and find out what are the recommended daily amounts or intake required for other types of minerals, which are magnesium, iron, phosphorus, sodium, calcium, and others which are not treated. Okay, now can you please write this? Proceed writing this study faster. Can you proceed writing this study questions, which will help you? You can discuss it within yourself or in our coming. You can, if you've got any questions, you can ask during our coming knowledge area, because now I think the time is up. But you can use this within yourself and use your group studies and try to discuss. Hello, Zoom user, can you please mute your microphone? Hey, Zoom user, mute your microphone. Okay, finish copying the questions. The time is nearly up. The time is nearly up. Can you please finish copying those questions? Hello, have you finished? Hello? Hello?
We are finishing, madam.
Madam.
You're still copying?
Yes.
Okay, please just proceed. Hello? Hello?
Yes, madam.
Have you finished?
Yes.
We are through, madam.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm closing now the Zoom. See you next time.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Thank you.